Good afternoon. Welcome to the homestead for a very brief update on some things we've been doing, and also I guess it's sort of an informational package for you too of things that might encourage you if you have some health issues. A bird just landed on my head. It really did. Okay then, moving along. Never know what'll happen here at the homestead. I've been taking videos, and I finally was able to upload the video of parts 1 and 2 of the free crochet class. So I'll help you take advantage of that. I'll put that in the notes below. But looking at that video, I noticed you really can see my hands in great detail. And you might be wondering, what's the deal? And I'm going to share that partially so you don't worry about me, but also because I think if you're out there and you have some similar issues, you might be encouraged to go ahead and try some of these things, even though you have some of these issues. Number one, I have psoriatic arthritis, and that affects these last joints on your finger, the closest to your nail. Those are called the distals because they're most distant. People with rheumatoid arthritis, it's the middle of their finger that swells up the most, but mine, it's the end joints. And the problem with that is eventually you get what's called pencil and cup syndrome, where the end bone is eaten away and collapses inside of your finger and you lose the nail completely. But we have fought that. I took Humira every week for 5 or 6 years and it helped, but then I developed multiple sclerosis and we couldn't take the Humira anymore. And if you've noticed, I have a lot of shaking and tremor in my hands. They've always been like that, but especially in the last few years. And I don't really notice it that much anymore. But it's called intentional tremor. It's when you try to do something and you drop it and you're clumsy and all that. And that happens to me every day. In fact, my daughter calls me the hen because we're living our little coop here. And we call me the droppy hen. And we all take wagers and maybe start a drinking game. Every time Eve drops something, opa, and take a drink. Just kidding, no. But anyway, I make light of it because what else are you going to do? But I just want to encourage other people who've got arthritis, any kind of stenosis, any kind of carpal tunnel syndrome, that the best thing, and I've been suffering for 20 years, so I guess I can say, is to keep your fingers moving. The worst is the morning, right, when you wake up and they're all stiff and they're just like, oh, But the more you use them and keep them moving, it not only keeps everything greased like it should be and lubricated, but taking your mind off of pain is a very powerful thing. So if there's anything that you'd like to learn more about doing, if you'd like to learn how to weave or knit or sew or some spinning, is very meditative. I find it very calming at night to be at the wheel. Please convo me here, message me, let me know, and I can steer you toward the best way to start. And my easy crochet class is a good place to start too, because it's simple. We use simple materials. It's not anything tiny and fiddly. And that's why I'm selling my entire library of crewel embroidery kits. I managed to find some of my favorite vintage kits, but the needle and that kind of motion is a little too hard for me. So with the other things I do, they're larger, and so I can do them just fine. So that's one reason I have so many for sale. Now, before I go today, I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about the techniques that you see in a scarf like this one. Let me get in the shade to be easier. This is my Mossy Mountain Gems scarf. This is my Mountain Jewels. And we have something called Saori weaving or Saori weaving. And it is a Japanese technique that's not that old that incorporates the idea of imperfection as beauty. And when you see flowers in nature, you're not just attracted to the ones that are beautiful. There's something called wabi Sabi, which I don't know how deep people take it, if it's, if it's a religious tradition. If it is, I apologize, because I'm not viewing it that way at all. But if there is at least the concept that there is beauty in imperfection. And that's what I do. I incorporate that wabi-sabi kind of thinking in my weaving, because I could make my stuff look like it was made by a machine. That wouldn't be all that hard to do. But then to me, you lose that human touch and that unpredictability where the designer, the weaver, put in what they thought should be there at that moment. And that is where you really become involved like a painter. You prepare your paints by spinning your yarn or buying it. and you arrange them, you edit, you decide which colors to use. And then when you say, this is getting a little bit too perfect and regular looking, I think I'll do a pop, like right there. I'm going to do a pop of texture, cotton and things like that. Then here we did a pop of beads. Then this is Saori silk right here that I just spun up a little bit so it would stay chunky and thick, and I put that in there. There's some silk ribbon to change it up, and so on. So that's the thing, is to make it your own. Saori weaving is something that anybody can do. There aren't really any rules, and we're going to talk more about that later, but I thought I'd just give you a preview of that. And here I've got a couple of my favorite Saori kind of techniques. You've seen this one before. This is my velveteen bunny, made out of lots of bunny. It's been laundered and beaten up real good, and it is just so soft and gorgeous and linen-y, but you see all the texture. You see the selvages, the edges are not perfectly even because you're putting in different amounts of texture. I try to keep mine pretty neat, and this is my Amethyst Moonlight, my Ozark Moonlight series. And this one I could have made exactly the same every row, but instead I wanted to do a pop of unexpected beads, sequins. There's more beads here, and I don't try to make it exact. I try not to worry about that, and I always like it better if that's how I do it. And this is my Ozark Fiesta scarf. It's one of my favorites, and this is my love of denim coming through. It's almost all denim, and those pops of beads on the side. But again, you see the Saori techniques in there with the treasures trapped in there. That's what you call it, treasures. Then I add beads and other media. Here's another look at the crocheted flowers I've been working on to adorn some of these things, and some of my Ozark oils down here. We've got the largest size of the hand lotion, the hard hand lotion, which is coconut amaretto this time. Yum. And then there's the medium size. It's about 1 ounce, and the little guy is about 1/2 ounce. And I don't have enough of it to put in my shop, so they are a gift with purchase at this time. So whoever places the next few made-to-order, custom-made orders will get their choice of any of these, including sunscreen and wood balm. So I'll wrap it up so that this one's not too long. The chicken coop is coming along. Nick's finally gotten a chance to work on it today. Let me do a zoom, see what we get. I'm in a glare, so I'm just kind of guessing, sorry. There we go, I see the green roof.